Hi, good morning. Welcome to TestFlix 2021, organized by the TestTribe Theory. So, myself, Ankit Giri, and I'll be presenting a short talk on the significance of mobile app exploit applications. Now, to start with, the very first, I'll start with my introduction. So, I've been a speaker, presenter, and blogger, and an aspiring YouTuber. I've been doing mobile security, web IoT, application security research for some time now. I've also been a bug bounty hunter in past. I've been featured in a lot of Hall of Fames, and I've presented my research at different national and international conferences, ranging from RSA to BSides to DeepSec, and also part of OWASP and Null community and the TestTribe theory on a smaller scale. So yeah, talking about the introduction, or like what is an exploit application. So there are mobile applications developed. Those do not have particularly a use case to be able to achieve something, as in terms of functionality, but rather they are made to exploit an existing application. So suppose you have an application, let's say, for some social media access. Now this exploit application will be made or developed to be able to exploit that social media application. Now, the very obvious question that comes out from this is the operating system in itself vulnerable? Is Android or iOS vulnerable? Is it so? Actually, it is not, because the Android architecture is made in such a form that everything is encapsulated and there is abstraction at every layer. So there is an applications layer, and then there behind that or beneath that there is an application framework. Then you'll see the libraries and the Android runtime. So the Android runtime is like a combination of core library and Dalvik virtual machine that helps build and run an application. And then we have Linux kernel, that is like the system level kernel that are required for proper functioning of the operating system. So everything works in an abstracted form. So ideally they are encapsulated in a way that there is no privilege of escalation, or there is no unauthorized access to the system resources. Similarly, for every application, we have a particular UID. So suppose you have different applications, every application will exist as a different user, or and user, when we say, it's just like users in Linux, like every user will only have access to their own resources and not to anyone else's. So similarly for iOS, we have software sitting on a different layer with the file system. The kernel will come into play. There is a crypto engine, and then there is the device key, group key, and Apple root certificate, which combines to form the hardware part of the whole operating system. So yeah, talking about the changing scenario of jailbreaking and rooting. So very often you might have heard about this word, that it is getting difficult to jailbreak the upcoming operating systems. So well said and done. The operating system organizations are trying hard for people not to breach or not to crack their operating system and make their devices rooted or jailbroken. The reason behind is that they apply some security mechanism, and with these jail routing or rooting, these changes go for a toss and they are no more applicable. So same goes the fact with to root or not root. It's always up to the user if they want to explore additional capability, if they want to use the device in the maximum or the most enhanced form possible. They want to have complete access to the phone and its resources, then they try and root it. Though you will also see a lot of banking application and other similar application not allowing you to use their app if your phone is rooted. One of the examples could be Google Pay. So why it is getting harder? It's just like in iOS and Android both, the vendors are trying not to allow users to be able to root their phone, because at times they become more vulnerable to security attacks. Now, talking about where are the mobile environments being headed to. So they are kind of making a shift wherein they are moving to a form wherein we will start to see more restrictions, more security measures, and which with every release it is getting more stringent. So some of the vulnerabilities, like let's quickly go through. So I'll talk about insecure external storage, wherein an Android application can have different component like activity, service, broadcast receivers, and content providers. And inside an insecure external storage, like you can allow somebody to be able to access the file stored by your application. Imagine this in case of a mobile banking application, some other app being able to access the account statement or account detail created by this app, while on a different node there could be a secure way of implementing it. So whenever another app which is trying to access your file or from an existing application, it will throw an error and not exactly fetch the file. So the other case could be path traversal attack, just like web application, Android and mobile application also have the capability wherein an attacker can be able to access what all files exist, or they can see and enumerate what all files are available. So that could be another way. And this is a code snippet of the same. So there is an application, there is an activity named content. And if you see the provider name is .access file, and the following authority is to whom it belongs to, and it is enabled. So ideally, either it should not be enabled or it should be enabled with some restrictions. Now there is something like a logical DOS with an exported activity. So activity are small screens or every small component in an Android application. So anybody able to trigger activities, they require the exported attribute to be set to true, which ideally should not be the case. So what they can do, suppose there is a kill switch application or there is a kill app activity and somebody just keeps on triggering that will make you unable to use that particular application. So that is not an ideal scenario to be in. Now talking about quickly safeguarding mobile applications, the application component should not be set with export value set to true. The logs should not be world readable. The application code should be obfuscated, and they should always have something like SSL pinning in place. I won't be able to take questions, but yes, if there is anything you want to connect to me regarding mobile exploit applications or something related to IoT, web security, feel free to contact me on these channels on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So till then, take care. Bye.